Well, it's a strategic wild card in global geopolitics and world economy. Yes, we are talking about the meeting between Prime Minister Modi and Russian President Vladimir Putin. Well, this will be the 17th time that the two leaders are meeting. Will President Putin's India visit be Modi's trump card? Well, that's the question. So let's begin. First, with a message to President Trump, since this is the first visit of President Putin since the Ukraine war and the tariffs imposed on India by US. Well, Russia continues to be India's all-weather ally traditionally and strategically. Such has been this dosti that Trump has penalized India for buying discounted oil from Russia and allegedly fueling Russia's war machine. Since Trump's stringent sanctions, India's imports of Russian oil have fallen drastically. Let's tell you what it means in terms of trade and energy. Trade ties, the bilateral trade between the two nations stands at around $65.7 billion. That's huge. The target by 2013 is $100 billion. That's how important Russia is to us as a trade partner. Let's talk about the Russian oil imports, which have been the sticking point in India's relationship with the United States and the Trump administration. Well, before the Ukraine war, India was buying 2.5% of its imports of fuel from Russia. After the Ukraine war, now that's where Russia offered India discounts on Russian oil. Our imports went from 2.5, jumped up to 35.8%. So the imports there have really gone up. But after that, it declined after the sanctions. In fact, for December 25, you expect a projection of 20% imports will be Russian oil. But Russia is without doubt India's biggest defense partner and its strongest friend when it comes to defense deals. We have witnessed the might of Russia's S-400 systems and Sukhois during Operation Sindoor, which have helped us shield our borders. So remember, Russia is India's largest defense partner. In fact, to the point that 36% of the arms imported were from Russia. This between the year 2020 and 2024. However, many have pointed out that this is indeed a drop from 72%, which it used to be in 2010 to 2014. Well, India, in its arsenal, currently has over 260 Sukhoi Su-30 MKIs and S-400s, which are defense shields, which we've seen the prowess of. It's tried and tested during Operation Sindoor. In fact, now sources tell us that it's going to be the next-gen Sukhois that India may be eyeing. In fact, what we are picking up is that there is a request for proposal, an RFP from India to Russia for Sukhoi Su-57, which is quite likely. This is the next-gen one. It is the next-gen aircraft which has been touted as the greatest plane on earth. But now let's also take a look at the India-Russia RELOS Pact, or the reciprocal exchange of logistic support. Why is this so very significant? Well, it has already been inked by the two leaders. But will this defense pact prepare India for a war, or will it insulate India for war? Well, let's tell you why. This may be the perfect deterrent for our wily neighbors such as China and Pakistan. Well, this will ensure mutual deployment of warships and aircraft. Both nations can send military formations without the long legal case-by-case access. Also, this will ensure mutual use of airports as well as port spaces. It will also regulate dispatch of troops, of equipment as well as logistics. It can be used for non-military purposes as well and will help in humanitarian aid, in disaster relief efforts as well. So, RELOS Pact wouldn't be about fighting wars, it would be about showing India's strategic flexibility to both Pakistan and China. Why? Well, here's why. When it talks about fuel, ammunition and repairs, this can be done anywhere and much faster than before, because now warships can refuel without returning to their home bases. Aircraft can land, it can refuel, and it can be redeployed from friendly bases as well. Damage can be repaired to any aircraft. outside of India. Doesn't need to come back to India, get fixed, repaired and then sent. It can be done at friendly bases as well. Also, it ensures that there are going to be no diplomatic delays in case there is war. Aircraft, warships, access is already pre-approved. So it's going to be much faster because the process has already been put in place. Also, backup bases. What do backup bases for India means? Means higher survivability. That means, let's say, tomorrow our ports are under attack. It gives us alternate ports which are being made available to our forces. In case there are emergency landings which are required, it is going to be guaranteed with a friendly airstrip. Also, longer naval reach. That's going to be very significant. That means India can now have longer patrols for our ships because the ships don't need to return to home base to refuel and then get redeployed. They can continue with their journey, their patrolling after refueling at Russian bases as well. Also, at a time of evacuation and crisis response, it's going to increase that significantly. It's going to ensure that there are faster civilian evacuations via Russian facilities, which will be available for India. Now, the deterrence effect. That's very significant because now India will not be running dry, nor is it going to be isolated just in case our neighbors are up to their own tricks. India can fight much beyond its shoreline as well, as I was telling you with the patrols. Now, this is what RELOS will, however, not do. It's important for us to point that out as well. It does not say that this is a war pact. It is logistical support, not a war pact. It will not ensure automatic military support either. It will not give joint fighting in case there is war. Also, it does not allow for the use of foreign troops in war. It also does not talk about any shared command either. Also, it will not allow for permanent stations. But will it be one of the biggest deterrents against enemies of India? Well, for all you know, this visit by President Putin to India may just be Prime Minister Modi's Brahmastra. Many have called it the trump card against those who may turn out to be enemies for India. Well, that's all I could pack in for you here on Decoding Now. Thank you so much for watching. Do let us know on the comment section what you want decoded next.